Hello there guys, this is Ram and welcome to a new series on this channel. So before the neurons fires into your brain linked to what this series is on, let me elaborate. This series is totally based on the political topics all over the world, on which we'll try to break down the issues to a more general form. I hope you'll get a new viewpoint from here and will get to realize what really is going around. For the first episode of the pandemic, we have brought you a topic which is in the limelights nowadays and more people need to know what this fuss is all about. The topic is World War III. So what are you waiting for? Let the revolution begin. World War III is the name given to a hypothetical third worldwide large-scale military conflict subsequent to World War I and II. After the outbreak of World War I or during the interwar period, which was considered to be the Great War or the war to end all wars, it was perceived that there couldn't possibly be another such conflict of this magnitude because of the destruction it caused on the global scale. But it turned out not to be true. After the outbreak of World War II, it disproved the hope that mankind might have already outgrown the need for such widespread global wars. Due to the development, it has increased the chances that another world war could be more fatal. If another world war happens besides the conventional warfare, there's a high probability that there could be a nuclear warfare. Usage of nuclear weapons just like it happened in 1945 at World War II in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Or there could be a biological warfare. Usage of biological agents, the unexpected mutation of an agent or its adaptation to other species after use. Just like it's happening in 2020 worldwide. Oops, did I say something? High-scale apocalyptic events like these could potentially make the Earth's surface uninhabitable. But the question is it worth the fight? There have been many close calls of World War III, such as the Korean War, Berlin Crisis, Cuban Missile Crisis, Sino-Soviet border conflicts, Indo-Pakistan War. But the most prominent one was the Cold War. With the advent of Cold War in 1945 and with the spread of nuclear weapons technology to the Soviet Union, the possibility of global scale conflict became more reasonable. At the height of the Cold War, a scenario referred to as mutually assured destruction or MAD had been calculated, which determined that an all-out nuclear confrontation would destroy nearly all human life on the planet. The potential absolute destruction of all human race may have contributed to the ability of American and Soviet leaders to avoid such a scenario. But that was just history. Coming back to the present, there's a pressure going on between different nations around the world, which could be the reason of World War III. The most popular one is the conflict between United States and Iran, and followed by the conflict between India and Pakistan, and then the conflict between US and Israel, Iran and Israel, and then the conflict between North Korea and the world. Well, that was an intended joke. Plus the threat of ISIS going around in the world. So let's dig about United States and Iran conflict. In May 2018, US President Donald Trump abandons the 2015 nuclear deal. Before restoring the economic sanctions against Iran and threatening to do the same to the other countries and firms that continue buying its oil. Iran's economy falls into deep recession. Relation between US and Iran worsened in May 2019 when US tightens the sanctions targeting Iran's oil export. In response, Iran begins a counter-pressure campaign. On 20 June, Iranian forces shot down US military drone over the Strait of Hormuz. The US says it was over the international waters, but the Iran says it was over their territory. On 3 January 2020, United States drone strikes near the Baghdad International Airport and killed the Iranian Major General Qasem Soleimani, which was the part of Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Soleimani was the commander of Quds Force and was the second most powerful person of the Iran. Quds Force, which is deemed as a terrorist organization by the US, Canada, Saudi Arabia and Bahrain. 9 others were killed alongside Soleimani, including the deputy chairman of Iraq's Popular Mobilization Forces or PMF and the commander of Kataib Habsullah. Let me pronounce him. Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis, who was listed as a terrorist in United Arab Emirates and in the US. This issue escalated the tensions between the two nations, and if a war emerges, not only these two nations but other supporting countries will also take part, where Germany, Saudi Arabia and Israel will go with the US and Russia, China and Pakistan will go with the Iran. But what about India? Where will it go? India has good relations with both US and Iran and therefore can help settling the dispute between the two nations. After all those trips to foreign can't go down in vain. On the other hand, rumors are that coronavirus epidemic spreading across the globe was meant for a biological warfare by China, but accidentally got released under the unsupervised conditions in their own country, killing thousands of their own people and still counting. But nevertheless, This pandemic has caused and hold on to the current stress between the nations. People are dying and government has got yet another issue to attend to. Because if anything happens, China, friend of Iran, won't be participating anytime soon. Concluding, although there is a mere probability of World War III, but it isn't likely to happen as per the current statistics. If it will be more of a guerrilla information war with no division between the military and civilian participation, which means that if World War III happens, it would be more of a cyber warfare. But in the end, no one can tell at what point in the future something can cause an ignition. After all, it's all a game of complex politics. Hope you all enjoyed and gained something. For any queries and suggestions, just comment down below. This is the epilogue, signing off.